Welcome back, everybody. This is Sean for TightPoker.com. Once again, we have another strategy guide video. We're going to be going through hands, this time at 100 no limit. This is my regular stakes. And playing 6 max on full tilt, and we've got some really interesting hands I'm going to go over. These are actually pretty recent hands, and we'll talk about kind of some of the mistakes I made and some of the good plays I made and some of the things you can see that, kind of see if you can cut your teeth at the small stakes by seeing some of the hands I've been playing. I'm by no means a perfect player, but decent solid player. I definitely give myself that grade. And, we learn by making mistakes, and we learn by doing things right. So you just want to take that at face value. We're going to go through a bit of hands here, and feel free to pause the video or respond. I know we've got a lot of people watching on PokerTube.com. We'd like to thank that site, as well as a ton of people on YouTube, which have subscribed. We've got quite a few subscribers now in the short time that we've been making videos, and we're very excited, and we appreciate all the love you've given us and, visiting TightPoker.com. So we love poker, we love to talk poker, and we're going to continue it here with this video. So we'll jump right in. Ace-Queen, premium hand on in a really, really good position in the cutoff. And so we've got an early raiser, and we've got another guy, a really fishy type of player. If you're having trouble seeing the HUD stats, this guy is a 29-24, and this player is a 61-28. This guy folds to 3-bet 60%. This guy never folds to 3-bet. So I think this is a great time for Ace-Queen to be 3-betting here and squeezing. Unfortunately, it looks like and I actually kind of remember why, I just called here, and the thing was I was just really kind of weirded out playing multi-way against a guy I know who will never fold. So against a guy like this, you don't want to just, okay, well, hopefully I hit, because then you're playing passively. You want to play aggressive, because when you hit, you're going to hit hard, and you can just blow this guy away. So, kind of a worst-case scenario for Ace-Queen is everyone calls, and you just never know, even if you hit top pair, if you're any good, because there's going to be a lot of set miners out there. So you do hit top pair. Well, I hit top pair, top kicker here. So a guy leads out. He donks into this for full pot. And so this guy calls as well. And so it's kind of a dicey situation, because we're also playing deep against these guys to be raising here. So I definitely calling one street. And I liked that move. Check, and then the absolute donk pot. And this is just such a weird situation. I mean, does he show a 6 here, or a lot of the time does he show air? And I think a lot of the time he shows an inferior queen. So if it had been this guy, I would have folded. However, playing this guy and just, he might show you a 6 here, but it's just so likely he's got a bad queen or some other really weird hand like a 45 or Ace-3, who knows? But you're just getting it in, and looks like that's what I did. So I like that play a lot. He gives me a call. And, I mean, this is a debatable hand all the way around on all streets, so I don't think I'm, working in absolutes here. So he calls, and he shows that inferior queen, and I take it down. All right, queen-king suited in the big blind. We've got an under-the-gun raiser, which always kind of creeps me out, especially when it's an 18-15 type. And we'll click, and using your HUD stats, and this is something you should be doing when you see someone raise an early position you don't know, check their EP PFR, meaning early position, pre-flop raise, and Hold'em Manager and Poker Tracker 3 will tell you this, 16%. So it's not like he's super tight. I mean, I remember for a while I was playing like 10-10 out of the under-the-gun seat, and way too tight. But it's kind of funny that he plays 16% PFR under the gun, but overall he's 15. So it means he's kind of looser under the gun than normal. And it looks like a bunch of people want to take a ride. There is definitely a case to be squeezing here, which I don't think is a bad kind of play at all. But playing it out of position, just kind of hoping to hit a flop I don't like, and I think that's what I did here. Yeah. So you'll find that, I'm trying to bring up hands where it's not totally standard, and there were some mistakes or different ways to go about it that I've gone through and made notes okay, don't do this next time, stupid. So hopefully I can spare you that pain. But flopping the world here, top 2 pair, really only trailing 5s at this point. And so this is a check raise flop for sure. And so he bets 8 and call behind, which I just absolutely hate. And I know, I mean, I remember this was from a really particularly tough session. And I remember I was just trying to get any sort of action when I had a hand. Because it's just been one of those months where I just absolutely have not been able to get any action. So, and here it's ironic because I'm killing the action for myself. This is absolutely a raise. One of these guys isn't going away, and I'd be getting it in really good. So the 3 here, you got to be betting. Looks like I'm going for the old checkaroony. And the raise, again, the raise size I don't even like. I really just dislike my hand here, if you can't tell. I mean, maybe you could debate not check raising or even donk betting on the flop, but here it's just, you got to be leading out. And if you're going to be check raising, it's got to be just maybe check shove at this point. And so he just calls, which is just so weird. I mean, what is he? I mean, is it the absolute nuts? Which I mean, it couldn't be kings. So, is it a draw? Is it a set? Is it a an ace king type of hand or a jack 10? Just hoping to see the finale here, and the flush fills, and with 44 into 156, it's an automatic shove. Even though I think a lot of the times, I don't know, I can say a lot of the times. I think some of the times we're beat and some of the times we're good. I have to really think about this hand. We put ourselves in a really bad spot. And it all started at the flop. Hate to go back here, but donking is not too bad here. There are places to be donk betting, and this is one of them. But the check, you have to be check raising there. And I hate that. I would like leading out here. The check raise is too small. So if we'd just been able to get it in here, which we should have done, it would have saved us this decision, which is just like crap. We have top 2 pair. He might have a set. He might have filled his flush draw. We don't know, but no matter what, we've got to shove. And I remember that's what I did. He calls and shows ace 10, about as pretty badly played as my king queen here. So he was on a massive draw, and we can see now, pre-flop, we don't care about the percentages, but on the flop, I think he might have been willing to get it in, and we would have been getting it in as a slight favorite. And certainly on the turn, we're getting it in as a really good favorite. And if we had check shoved or just potted here, he might have gone away. I just can't imagine if you shoved here. I mean, does he still call? Maybe he does. Just figuring, I've got an overcard, I've got the flush draw, and I've got a gut shot. At worst, I'm 70-30, which would have been the case. He hits his card, good for him, and he gets paid off. So kind of an interesting hand, and I think both players really just played this one piss poor. All right, here we are with 8s. Definitely calling behind the out of the gun. This is clearly set mining, and then you've got a mid pocket pair, so there's some interesting things that can happen. Flopping middle set on a very wet board, and it is time to be betting. And so the 6 into 950, I don't like. The wetter the board, the bigger the bet, and so I really should be betting minimum 8 and probably just potting it the rest of the time. So we get check raised, and we're just getting it in. And that's what happens. And he shows 10-9. So it's always fun to flop a set and have the other guy flop the straight. That, happens all the time, right? Well, it does to me. And oh my God, look at that. I hit quad. So kind of a standard hand the way it played out. Multi-way 10-9 big blind. Nah, I don't hate the call there at all. And then just the flop played itself. So, what are you going to do? You're not going to fold here. So, got real lucky. Not real lucky because, it was 65-35. I could hit a boat. So, All right, now we've got ace king. And just to let you know, we've got, if you're on YouTube, this video is going to run a little bit longer. Usually there are 2 10-minute videos. This one's going to be 3. So, at the end of this video, please do visit the next video in the series, the minutes 10 to 20. So here we go. We've got ace king in the cutoff. I make a raise.